Hi, everyone. Welcome to Art and Talk. Art and Talk is an online interviewing platform for artists to share their art, creativity, and passion. We embrace all the arts, the traditional arts and the spiritual arts, to bring you diverse and quality interviews to watch and be inspired by. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Leslie Sue, the host for Art and Talk. We hope you'll stay connected with us on social media, on our YouTube channel, on Facebook, and we're also on Twitter now. So we appreciate your support and stay connected with us. Today we have a guest poet, and we'll be hearing some of his original poetry, and we'll be diving into his poetic journey as well. So I'd like to welcome our guest poet for today, Balone. Hi, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Leslie. Thank
All
you.
right. It's great to have you here. Before you read your poem, tell us a little bit about your poetic journey. Tell us a little bit how you got started writing poetry, if you would, El.
Okay, sure. I started when I was quite young, and let's say I had love for books, and it's actually quite rare for you to get people who love books, like in my country here. I've always been this. I've been a bibliophile, so I never actually knew I was going to be a poet. Like I hated poetry. Yeah. So recently, I tend to imagination. I tend to imagine. I tend to see myself in somewhere else, and I decided, okay, let me just put down what I feel. That was when I started my first poem. That was when I wrote my first poem. So recently, I've been on Twitter. I met some people who gave me insights, who talked to me about developing my poetry. So I started, and I think what caught me out from other poets, it's my description. Some said I'm very good with description. I can describe a particular scene. Nigeria here doesn't, my country here, okay, let me talk about my country here. My country here doesn't support writers. Yeah. We are seen as people without any job. We say that let's say we're seen as the lowest part of the people in the community. Getting your child being a writer is not something you wish right here in Nigeria. So recently I started a campaign. Against depression, because it's something I face daily. It's something I see lots of people go through daily. You hear the rate of suicide, you hear the rate of people killing themselves and this and this. So I started writing poems about depression. I started writing poems about people, things that will make you happy. So instead of writing poems in normal way, I added comedy into my poems. So whenever people see them, people have a reason to laugh, people have a reason to smile. I guess that's it.
Mm-hmm. Then, Elb, you also go by a pen name, the DepressionDoctor. So that kind of ties in with what you're saying. So,
okay.
So you're saying that the poetry started out with just kind of feelings and putting those down on paper, and then as it sounds like as things evolved, Elb, that some depression set in that you experience, and also around you, like your friends and family or your environment. And so you created this character, this pen name, the DepressionDoctor, to help yourself and to help other people. And then you're also kind of introduce comedy or ways that people can kind of alleviate some of the depression through your writing, to be a little bit happier, a little bit lighter. That's correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Mm-hmm. And I know you have a really fertile imagination. You've shared some of your poetry with me, and you also create other characters as well. So you have a lot like imagination and a lot of this, like, you know, very, very fruitful creativity going on. Is there anything you'd like to share with us before you read your first poem?
Okay. My first poem is actually titled The Village Beauty. You know, lately, these days, you see lots of women, they feel bad about themselves, you get? They feel bad being some black, actually, like my people. They feel bad about being black. They feel bad about being the local type of girl. So instead, I try to create something in their own expression. What I think a guy actually feels for a girl, a genuine feeling. Yeah. So I try to describe the African beauty in our own way, in the way I see them, in the way everybody's supposed to actually see them. So I created honor. And now this honor, which is let's say honor is an Igbo word for peers. Yeah. So instead, I gave her that nickname as honor. Honor is not a real name. Yes. Honor is what you call, is what the English would call something like a sweetheart. Yeah. My darling, that kind of thing. So honor is a pet's name, is a sweet name I give to her. So honor, this poem, The Village Beauty, is meant to show all women that they are appreciated. Yes. That nobody's born with flaws, no matter how bad, no matter how good you look. Every woman is supposed to be appreciated. That's the thing. So that's it.
Mm. Oh, that's beautiful. So Ona is like a sweet word of endearment that you would call a woman. And the larger
Sure.
picture, Elv, is that this is for women to feel good about themselves, particularly African women. And you're saying that there are no flaws and that each woman should appreciate their own beauty. And
Yeah.
let's go ahead and hear this, the village beauty. That's a beautiful message, Elv. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. The village beauty. Flowers gleamed and glowed. Birds chirped and twittered gaily. Sounds of drums resounded over the hills. Old men and youths gathered to tell tales of the village beauty. Honor, the hawk called her. She's more precious than pearls. Her eyes sparkled like 1,000 fireflies. Her smile could make the village witch laugh with joy. Perfect nose like an Arab's. Teeth whiter than grandma's pears. More beautiful than Akumba's jewels. Lips, oh, her lips, impossible to describe. I could daydream all day thinking about those. Even the goddess Annie couldn't boast of a better creation. Her breasts, those wonderful round udaras, which made men fight and stare all day long. Her beauty, which made men hug themselves together, feeling the transfer of flirtation and favorism through the sending over of the warmth which God has wasted time in giving to any living being. Her hips, those were curved design of heavenly attributes. When she walks, it jiggles like the bells in the old church of St. Monica's. The faint sweet music of the cooling wind, coupled with the song of birds and the piquant voice of leaves, couldn't help but to describe how beautiful she is. Honor, my darling bride. That's it.
That's beautiful, Elb. So that's just honoring the African beauty, and for women to be appreciated by men, and for women to appreciate themselves and how they look.
Of course.
Yes.
So there are actually some words I use there that might sound confusing. You get, like when I said a breast, those wonderful round udaras. Udaras can be likened to sherry, the English sherry, or the English watermelon. Describe it as well fruitful, as well shaped.
Mhm.
And when I say something like the goddess Ani, the goddess Ani is an Igbo character, my tribe. Ani represents the goddess of nature. So I said the goddess Ani couldn't boast of a better creation, like she's the perfect creation, like she's the pride of all African women. So what I'm trying to say is that every woman is created specially. There's no good, there's no bad, there's no beautiful, there's no ugly. Everybody is beautiful in their own way. So I think it's actually a time for women to stop looking for things to enhance their beauty. Appreciate yourself. That's what I'm saying. Because everybody is beautiful in their own single way. So I guess that's it.
Mhm. Mhm. That is such a beautiful message, Alvin, and you express that beautifully.
Thank
All
you.
right. So I know you have another poem that you'd like to read for us. Do you want to share with us a little bit about what it's about before you read it?
Okay, yeah. This second poem is I say it's quite personal and very, very important to me, you get. You know, I'm in the Nigerian Navy, and as a soldier, most times we go to sea. So this recently, I think that was last month, we went to sea and we were ambushed. We were 7 on board. So out of the 7, we were only three that survived. The rest of them died. So during that moment, I was drowning. Yes, I drowned. So during that moment, I was rescued, and it took me quite, I think, 2 to 3 days before I regained consciousness. So during that moment was actually tough for me. It was as if I was in a different world of my own. It was as if I was in a dark, chaotic world. A world without color, a world without light, a world filled with regrets. Like, why did I do this? Despite cries from family, despite people asking me not to, despite people telling me that a soldier's work is not a good work, I was quite stubborn. I was quite filled with patriotism. Like, I should do this for my country, do this for my people, that kind of thing. I know there is a girl, though she's late, my girl, she's late. I always wanted a daughter, and this was what she herself would have wanted. She wanted, she always had this fantasy of running around in the rain, getting ice cream, walk in the park, a kiss in the rain too, that kind of thing. We never had to do those things because nature had to take its place, and she had to go. So I think I was actually feeling what she felt then. So this poem is actually close. This poem is something I think all soldiers, all military men and women, they want to say to you, but I don't think you might have that chance to say to you. And this poem is also a tribute, a dedication to all fallen soldiers, all people who gave their life to save and secure each and every country of theirs. Because every soldier is very special. What we go through in battlefront is not something people will see. There are things that happen that we won't even know about. Okay, the people that died, they had dreams. I had dreams too. I also have a dream. Now imagine if I myself had gone. Now it was that fear that made me to write this. It was that experience. It was that moment. Let me say it was that moment that inspired this recent poem. I think every soldier out there might want to see this. Every soldier out there might feel something from this, might relate to this quote. It's close.
Mhm.
People that died, people that are still going to die might never have the chance to tell their loved ones like, I love you. So I think this poem is a message to every single person to appreciate every soldier out there and tell them I love you too. So I think that's it. And the title of the poem is Remember Me. Why I gave the name Remember Me, it's because of Lucky Dube. Yeah, I got the name from Lucky Dube. One of his poems, Remember Me, though he left. And there's also this this movie, this Disney character, Coco. If you have watched it, Coco. So the main character, let's say the sub-main character, the second one, the guy singing, he sang Remember Me before he was killed. Though he had no chance to go back and tell his daughter, even in the land of the dead, he wanted to meet her, he wanted to talk to her, he wanted to send message to her. Until Miguel had to come over to the land of the dead, then he had to send message to them. So this poem is actually something like that. But it's a way, another way of us, that is of us just telling their loved ones that I love you. So I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's really covering a lot. So it's stemmed from your experience being in the Nigerian Navy and the ambush experience that you described, and some of your fears that came up. It's about soldiers. It's about also you have this ability to kind of also step in someone else's shoes and experience what it might be like for them. Just like in the Ona poem that you just read, you're kind of like experience what it might be like, for women and experiencing some things. And now it's kind of with your experiences and in the Navy and as a soldier and losing, some of your friends that are also soldiers as well, and also about love and so many things. So let's go ahead and hear your poem.
Okay, sure. Remember me, though I left never looking back. Despite your cries, pleas, and persuasions, with youthful exuberance, I left, hoping for a better future. Blinded by my desires, I ignored your pleas. With a shaded heart, I did not notice the liturgies of prayers said, the tears shed, voices that cried. Yet I never looked back, for I was lost, like someone lost to the cold hands of death. Indeed, I was. Remember me, my dear bride, for all the good memories shared. Not much of a memory, but I will cherish every moment spent with you. The piggyback rides in the rain, shouting and laughing like kids without worries. I remember that enormous ice cream we bought, for the wonderful picnic we had under that baobab tree. You remember that tree, don't you dare? I could go on and on. Such nice memories. The naughty pranks we played on Mr. Chike before we got married. The walks in the park. Above all, never forget our first kiss. I will share these memories. Indeed, I will. Remember me, my dear little daughter. Though you might have grown into a beautiful young woman, you were a babe when I first saw you, a wonderful bundle of joy in my arms. I could faintly remember your giggles, my dear little Ada. Father is so sorry for leaving, dear daughter. With tears in my eyes, I wish to see you again. Indeed, I do. Remember me, world, for all the good I did, leaving my family defenseless for the good cause, fighting another man's battle, being a soldier despite pleas from friends and family. Remember my sacrifices, though you said a soldier must give all for his country, even if I regretted those words. Indeed, I do. Now writing this letter in the land of the dead, How you will see it, I do not know, but I will mail it to you. With the deepest love and regrets, a lost father, soldier, and husband. That's it.
Remember me. That's such a beautiful poem, El.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm wondering, El, have you
Yeah.
shown any of your poetry to others, and what have their responses been?
Okay. I'm this kind of writer that don't like exposure. You get. I just want to do things for people. I want my work to be seen by people, not bots. I don't like. So that's why I've not actually gotten a book, because I write and send. If most time, most time there are people who come to me and be like, okay, Lawrence, can I get a poem for this? Can I get a poem for this? Can I get a poem for this? I'm like, okay, tell me how you feel. Tell me what you want. Okay, I'll write it for you. And each of those ones, I can't claim copyright for them because I did it for free. Yeah. But there are some of my poems that are published in the US. I think it's a celebrity or something. He's a journalist and he took some of my poems, and though most people like it, most people can relate to the poem because of my description, my ability to describe things very, very exact. Most people see my poems and they'll be like, hey, I can relate to this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that. If you're good, if you're this, if you're this, if you're this. But I think the most important thing about my poem is that it can relate to you. And I think the thing actually speaks more for itself than what I'm doing. So I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you want your poetry to be relatable. Obviously, that that seems pretty evident in the two poems that we've had. And so you also said that some people have come to you and they said, "Oh, I want you to write a poem," and then you just ask them what it's about, and then you go ahead and write that, and then you have your poetry that you write just for yourself as well. Can you touch upon your creative process, El? Like when you start to write, what kind of, I'm sorry?
You said professionally?
Well, just creatively, like when you start to write, what kind of process do you go through, and how often are you able to write?
Okay. I am actually more of a script writer than a poet. I write movie scripts, and most times, whenever I look at the stars, I let nature inspire me. I'm more of a natural person. I get inspired by a lot of things. I can see a car passing and get inspired to write, and I will just jot it down. I can see birds flying across the sky, and then I write something. I might be talking to you and then feel something too. So I started writing professionally, I think that will be last year. But before then, I've been writing scripts. So let's say I became a poet full-time this year. I became a poet full-time. That's when I decided to go into poetry full-time this year. So I allow anything to inspire me. Anything can inspire me, that's the thing. And I write very, very often, more than usual. Most times are short poems. Most times there are love letters. Most times are love poems. Most times there are erotic poems. It's according to what people want. That's it. So that's it.
And when you're writing your poems, it is so beautiful. You're inspired by so many different things, by nature and by your environment, your feelings, and then you get kind of prompted to like, okay, now I'm going to write something. And so when you're actually writing, El, is it a kind of an effortless process? You just kind of let it flow. I know you like to be very descriptive and you describe things beautifully. So I know that plays a part. When you're actually writing, tell us a little bit about how that process goes for you.
Okay. Let's say I'm not that of a professional yet, by, let me say, I am more original. When I write it as if I'm in a different world. I think all writers can relate to this. When I write, I feel like I'm in a different world. I feel like I'm in utopia. You get? One thing people don't know is that writers are gods on their own. I don't mean the actual god. I mean writers are god on their own. They can create things. They can create a whole different world. They can create a planet. They can create a country. They can create a president. They can do everything just in their imagination. Yeah. So most times it's as if there are lots of stuffs here. Most times it's as if there are lots of stuffs here just for me to seek them out, like bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. And most times it's actually difficult writing because people don't appreciate it. You get people be like, hey, you're not hearing from this stuff, you're not doing this, you're not doing this. Why are you writing? So most time the discouragement is actually much. Yet most time it's as if I'm just fooling myself as a writer. I know lots of people that have told me that, okay, Lawrence, you're never going to make it from writing. Lawrence, these writers don't get money, writers don't do this. But the thing is that I don't actually write for money. I don't write for anything, film or anything. I just write because that's what I want to do. That's the best way I can express myself. That's the best way I can talk to people. Whenever I write, I feel comfortable, I feel peace. There are times when depression will actually eat you bad and you feel like committing suicide and the rest now. When you're depressed, I think the best thing for you to do is putting that depression into paper and you make the best poem ever. I think that's it.
That's great advice. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month in the United States. And so you're advising anyone that might be experiencing some depression, they don't have to be a poet or, they could be, but to take your feelings to pen and paper, and you're saying how it's helped you, it's been very healing and therapeutic. And so you recommend for others to do that as well as an avenue of expression.
Yeah, the thing now, it's most time people might not actually have that time. Most people might not be inspired to write. Like what I did, this depression doctor character, I'm not actually a doctor, you get? Let's say I'm a doctor for depression. I devoted my life to make sure other people don't feel depressed where I am. So that's why I created the Depression Doctor on Twitter and Instagram too. So that whenever you're depressed, whenever you need someone to talk to, I'm always there. No matter how busy I am, no matter how, let me say, how my schedule is. Whenever you say, okay, can I talk to you? I'm always there. Because most time people feel this loneliness. I feel it too, like a lot, I feel it too. So let's take for the Easter when my girlfriend actually died. I felt like committing suicide, yeah. But there's something she said. There's something she told me. She was like, whenever I feel like she's not there, whenever I feel tired, whenever I feel sad, I should look up at the sky at night. You see stars. You see stars everywhere. Start naming your problems there. Just like, okay, you see one star, and you be like, oh, okay, this was bothering me. Oh, that's what's bothering me. Hey, that's this, that's this, that's this. Then you find out that your problems are not bigger than the sky. Just put your problems there in the sky. And you feel relieved. You feel relieved talking to yourself, talking to nature. Whenever you feel depressed, you go outside at night. My own personal advice for you now. You go outside at night, you look at the sky, even if there are no stars. Start putting your problems there in the sky. Just like you're magneting it there in the sky. Leave them there. In the morning, you won't see any single star there. Sorry, that's the day has washed away every problem you had. The next day you can continue again. That I think that's actually a reason for you to leave. Yet people will miss you. One thing people don't understand is that when depressed, when anxious, when people tell you you're not good, when people tell you you're this, nah. When people tell you you're not good, that's actually a stepping stone for you to be much more better. There is no other person like you. There's no person that smiles like you. There's no person that looks like you. There's no person that talks like you. There's no person that's funny like you. There's no person that have that beautiful character like you. I think that's what more people need to realize. You know, most time people are depressed because of love. Most people are depressed because of finance. Most people are depressed because of life issue, loneliness, that kind of thing. Now, before I talk to you about my depression, something, okay, I'm talking about when someone comes to meet me and I'll be like, okay, tell me about yourself. They'll be like, sorry, I don't feel like talking. I don't feel like, okay, I'll say, okay, good. What do you actually need right now? Or what's bothering the most? Then when you see someone talk about finance, that kind of thing, you put the person into confidence. You give the person hope. You tell the person, okay, let's see how we are going to do this. Let's see if I can help you with this and this, even if I don't have. That thing will give the person hope. Even though you don't, at least if there's any way someone tell you, okay, I want this and this, okay, I can't get to this kind of thing, you tell the person, okay, let's see how we are going to work it out together. But when it comes to love issues, something, I know, okay, let's say I have many best friends now. I have many best friends because most time they will say, my boyfriend did this, my boyfriend did that. Okay, I feel lonely, nobody wants me, that kind of thing. I say, but I'm here now. They'll be like, hey, you have a girlfriend? I say, okay, no, I don't. But pretend I'm dating you for the time being. Let's see how it works out. Okay, let's give it a month. The person might laugh, the person might say, okay, let's do it. I will dedicate like every single time I have to that person for that particular listening period. Then look for it to match make that person with somebody else. Yeah. But I think the most beautiful part about depression is that it reveals you. It's your toughest moment for you to shine, for you to be great. Most people allow depression to get into them, to eat into them, while other people use that depression as a stepping stone to something big or something greater. So whenever you're depressed, pick a pen, look at your book, pour that depression into your book, and you make one of the best writings ever. Whenever you're depressed at night, whenever you feel like, okay, there's nobody there, there's this, walk outside, listen to music, and put every single problem you have in the sky. Then go and sleep. In the morning, you come again, there's no this in there. It's already day. Let your problems go with the night and joy come in the morning. I think that's it.
That is so beautiful, Elb. I love everything that you've been sharing. And I just want to touch upon a few things while we still have a few minutes. The name Depression Doctor, I just think is so unique, and you really honor everybody's uniqueness. And you really, respect that within yourself and with others, as I've been hearing you elaborate. And so you really extend yourself as well when anybody reaches out to you, if they're experiencing some type of depression, or if they're experiencing something, as you were saying, El, no matter if you're really busy or what's going on, you always take the time to extend yourself when someone's reaching out to you. And I love your analogy and your advice to take your problems and just at the night sky to put it onto the stars. That is so beautiful. And it also, as you were elaborating, it also is like, you start to get a feel for, the infinite sky, and then your problems. And then, on one hand, they start to feel, much smaller, and it kind of gives you a little bit more perspective and clarity. And then, as you were saying, joy comes in the morning. It's so beautiful. And I appreciate all that you've been sharing as well, you know, on your own personal experiences and whatnot. I'd like to ask you a question because, you know, we only had time to read, for you to read two of your original poems, but you also have spoken a lot about love and, you know, the importance of love. And I would just like to get from you, how do you, in your own words, define love?
I see love as a chain. You get, you know, this. I see love as a chain. When you love someone, when you love something, like truly you love that thing, it's like you handcuffing yourself to that thing. You know, you can't let go if you handcuffed, if you're chained together to that thing. I believe love it's a magnet that connects you to that other thing. Like you can't let go no matter how strong that thing is. Love will never let go. I think that's my point. When you love someone, when you love something, you give that thing 100% of your time. I think that's it.
You have such great insight and such great creativity and imagination. And again, I love everything that you've been sharing and the advice that you're giving out as well. We have a few more minutes.
Okay.
How would you like to close the show? Is there anything that we haven't touched upon in reference to your poetry that you'd like to share? Is there any more advice that you'd like to give? And also let us know how we can stay connected with you.
Okay. You know, if like
All right, we seem to have a little bit of some internet connection situation going on. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching today and connecting with us and watching this episode with El the Poet. And we'll talk soon on the next Art and Talk. Until then, be well and be blessed.